From Lagos, the nation's commercial capital, this is the News at 10. Live from Channels Television. Reporting tonight, Anne Nwawodo.
Begin his second tenure, commits to building on the achievement recorded in his first term, and take the After states to greater heights.
And on business news tonight, Minister of Power proposes the unbundling of distribution companies in a bid to cut electricity supply.
We begin with the burning issue of high cost of living in Nigeria, which continues to take its toll on many Nigerians, and the Northern Traditional Rulers Forum has expressed concern over its impact on the region. The forum is calling on the government to urgently address the economic crisis before it gets out of hand. At a meeting of the Northern Traditional Rulers in Kaduna, the chairman of the forum and Sultan of Sokoto, Alhaji Saad Abubakar III, says that the people of the region are suffering from severe hunger and poverty, coupled with the lingering insecurity that has crippled economic activities in the north.
We have entered into a new cycle of leadership. Some new governors have come on board. Some are having the second term. And still, we are faced with these insecurity issues. To make matters worse, we are faced with rising level of poverty amongst our people. Lack of the normal, and I mean normal, sources of livelihood by the common man to have, even if it's one good meal a day, is lacking. There's that lack of such. And I believe, talking of insecurity, talking of rising level of poverty, are two issues that we cannot, and I mean we cannot sit, fold our arms, and think everything is okay. I've said it so many times at so many fora that things are not okay in Nigeria, and of course things are not okay in the north. We've seen this rising level of insecurity, and we ask ourselves, like I've done so many times, what are the real issues bringing about such rising cases of insecurity? I don't think it's the issue of new government, because new government is continuation of the former government, it's the same party. What really is the problem? And I think that's why one of the reasons we're here to talk to ourselves. We're hoping the security chiefs will be here to brief us, and then we'll go into closed session and discuss some of the issues. But unfortunately, as of now, only the representative of the DGSSS is here, and we don't know whether they will be able to make it. But like I've said, whatever is the case, we finish our meeting, get our facts together, send to every one of them as our own contribution to the amelioration of insecurity and poverty in the north.
Meanwhile, the federal government is set to distribute free grains to needy Nigerians as part of efforts to cushion the rising cost of living and also ensure food security. At a press briefing by the Minister of Information and National Orientation, the Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Mr. Abubakar Kyari, says the federal government is equally targeting 1 million metric tons of rice in order to increase affordability of staple food. And outside the shores of Nigeria, the United States National Transportation Safety Board, NTSB, has released pictures of the location where the helicopter carrying the former Chief Executive Officer of Access Holdings, Mr. Herbert Wigwe, and 5 others crashed on February the 9th. Mr. Wigwe, his wife, Doreen, their son, Chizi, and the former chairman of the Nigerian Exchange Group, Abimbola Ogunbanjo, died following the crash on an Airbus EC-130 helicopter close to the California-Nevada border near Holoran Springs. The images released by Michael Graham, who's a board member of the NTSB, says that they visited the site and outlined the activities conducted on the first full day of investigation showing the NTSB officials observing the wreckage at the site, while emphasizing the agency's commitment to a meticulous examination of the scene. Mr. Graham said the team conducted aerial drone mapping and documented the wreckage. According to him, various electronic devices and onboard equipment were recovered at the scene for further examination and analysis. To the National Assembly now, where the Senate has constituted a 1999 Constitution Amendment Committee to be chaired by the Deputy Senate President, Barau Jibrin. The President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, who announced the composition of the committee during plenary, underscored the need for the Senate to review aspects of the Constitution against a backdrop of current realities. He stated that the committee will comprise one senator from each state and one from each geopolitical zone of the country, and it is expected to be inaugurated on February the 20th. A National Assembly correspondent, Gloria Umezoke, reports.
The President of the Senate commences second plenary for the week after a nearly 10-hour marathon meeting with service chiefs hours ago. A minute's silence is observed by the lawmakers for the late Herbert Wigwe and 4 others who died in a helicopter crash in the USA after a motion moved by Senator Orwell Onyeso from Rivers State.
Rest in perfect peace. Amen.
The lawmakers also paid tributes.
But Herbert was beyond a banker. Herbert was everywhere. Herbert was in everything that was going to add value to humanity.
Mr. Ogubanjo has always been a major corporate player in our environment and somebody who we are all very, very proud.
Again, the subject of the review of the 1999 Constitution is back in focus as a committee is announced.
There is need for us to touch on some aspects of the Constitution to bring them in line with current realities, particularly with the era of artificial intelligence. We are taking one senator per state because we are talking about a constitutional amendment. One senator per state. And then we are also taking one senator representing each geopolitical zone.
Another motion sponsored by Senator Osita Izonaso calling for an investigation into the foreign exchange backlog, particularly the invalid $2.4 billion transfer out of the $7 billion backlog owed banks, is suspended after a brief debate ensued.
It is important that we investigate all of this and see how best to correct all of it. It is in the state of transparency that we believe the current leadership too is trying, or the CBN is trying to do.
Why do you want the Senate to look at the motion before you do your work? Is it that the Committee on Banking has failed?
After the back and forth, a decision is taken.
But we have also consulted amongst ourselves, and we have agreed that there is need for brevity. There is need for brevity, and that we would like to have urgent points for the knowledge of the Nigerian public. For instance, the assertions by the CBN governor on the $7 billion, and the Nigerian public will also want to know more about the Anchor Borrowers Program and the expenses incurred.
We will step down the motion and consult more before presenting the motion.
The Senate promises to revisit the motion it considers critical to the survival of the nation's finances at a later date. From the National Assembly, Gloria Umezoke, Channels Television News.
Away from the National Assembly, Governor Duyediri of Bayelsa State today took his oath of office alongside his deputy to start his second term in office. The ceremony held at the Samson CSCS Sports Complex in Yenagoa, the state capital, and was well attended by a roll call of top leaders, including the Vice President of Nigeria, Kashim Shettima, former President Olusegun Obasanjo, and Dr. Goodluck Jonathan, who was accompanied by his wife, Patience. Governors of Rivers, Akwa Ibom, Delta, Edo, Kwara, Adamawa, among others. In his speech, Governor Diri highlighted his administration's achievements during his first term, while also announcing the policy direction for the new term.
About 3 months after winning at the governorship election, Senator Diri Doye is set to be sworn in for a second term as the governor of Bayelsa State. Guests from within and outside Nigeria are present to grace the occasion. One of them is the Vice President of Nigeria, Senator Kashim Shettima, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Right Honorable Abbas Tajuddin,
elected governor of Bayelsa State,
the Vice President of Liberia, Right Honorable Jeremiah Kang, former President Olusegun Obasanjo, his successor, Dr. Goodluck Jonathan, and his wife, Dame Patience, as well as the former President of the Senate, Dr. Bukola Saraki. Also present are the governors of Kwara, Edo, Delta, Rivers, Akwa Ibom, Adamawa, Cross River, and Oyo states. Joined by his family, Senator Lawrence Erujakpo takes the oath of office as the Deputy Governor of the state for another 4 years.
I, His Excellency Senator Lawrence Erujakpo Obawahiewo, do solemnly swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Next is Senator Doye Diri, who is also joined by his family. He swears to preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution.
I, Doye Diri, do solemnly swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the Federal Republic of Nigeria, that as Governor of Bayelsa State, I will discharge my duties to the best of my ability, faithfully and in accordance with the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the law.
After taking the oath and inspecting the parade mounted for him, Governor Diri commits to building on the achievements of the last 4 years.
During our first term, we worked to improve the condition of our roads, schools, and hospitals, create more jobs for our people, and tackled the disunity and insecurity that was affecting our people.
Senator Diri took over from former Governor Saraki Dixon on February 14, 2020, and will administer the affairs of the state till February 14, 2028.
In part two, after the break, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to leave for AU summit in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia tomorrow. Plus, the Minister of Federal Capital Territory, Mr. Nyesom Wigwe, places a 20 million naira bounty on criminals in the nation's capital.
Black, it's not dark, it's bright. Black is bold. Black is every color, all together. My thing, your thing, our thing mixed together. Black shines bright.
Hello, my bro. Man, the rain is so heavy here. And there's so much traffic. I think we should go spawn, huh?
Not a chance. Aisha.
We don't quit, guys. I'll be there.
Done.
2 files received.
I'm on my way. Take the first right in 50 meters and you're there. Copy that.
Aisha, where are you?
Guess where?
2 minutes. 2 minutes. Move. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Runway X.
The future of fashion showcasing.
Very impressive. How did you pull that off?
With Nigeria's top tech talents.
And Glow.
Power your relentless ambition with ultra-high-speed data. Glow with pride.
Kana da abubuwa da yawa yau. Ovaltine kyakkyawan zaɓi domin yara masu basira.
Coming from every corner of the globe, professionals of the mining and oil and gas sector will be taking part in the 4th edition of ECOMOF, which is a forum on mining, oil and gas by ECOWAS. From February 22nd to 24th, 2024, Cotonou will vibrantly host the ECOMOF at Palais de Congrès Cotonou, Benin Republic. Over 3 days, investors, decision makers, industry professionals, suppliers, and experts from Africa and the world are gathering in Cotonou, Benin. Sign-ups and bookings for ECOMOF 2024 on www.ecomof.org.
Time waits for no man, or so they said. That's why you set goals and set your minds to achieving them. Because somehow you believe that one day your time will come. So through the highs and the lows, the good days and the not so great ones, you never stop thriving, hustling, and showing up. Because you know, even if tomorrow is not guaranteed, at least you've got control over today. But it's not enough to believe it. You've got to live it too, with the right partner by your side, providing you with all the support you need to forge ahead and reminding you that now it's your time, not tomorrow, today. Today is yours to create greatness, to achieve your dreams, to reach your goals. And with FCMB, today is yours in every way. FCMB, my bank and I.
I'ma keep winning till the world stops spinning. I'ma keep winning till the world stops spinning. I'ma keep winning till the world stops spinning. I'ma keep winning till the keep up on me. Come on, let's go. I'ma keep winning till the world stops spinning. Independent women, come on, now let's get it. I'ma keep winning till the world stops spinning. Africa, you feel me? Come on, now let's get it.
New styles from Darling. Find your beautiful.
Mommy, there's something under my bed. Mommy, I cannot sleep. Mommy, I'm having nightmares. Mommy, my dog cannot sleep. Mommy, do you know I snore? I'm not snoring. You don't snore. That's what I snore. I don't snore. You snore.
Okay, come in.
Ooh, yeah. Happy family, happy home. You know in every room there's a muka. Yeah. Get comfort, stay refreshed. Choose muka mattress. Sleep better, live better, muka.
Still mourning Dr. Herbert Wigwe, describing his death as a disastrous loss. The governor recalled how the foremost banker contributed to the growth of his administration by offering quality economic advice. He says the Rivers State government will do its best to ensure that the newly established Wigwe University, founded by the late Herbert Wigwe, one of the flagship investments, succeeds. Governor Fubara also spoke exclusively to Channels Television at the Government House in Port Harcourt, Rivers State.
His economic advice is something that I was leveraging on to unleash a lot of programs in this state. So you can imagine how I feel about the death of Mr. Herbert. He's a great guy. I might be wrong to put it this way. I just see him as extraordinary. He's just one in a million. We will encourage the family, the daughter, and the other ones that are still there, whatever it is the state can do to keep up the legacy of Dr. Herbert. I think maybe after his burial, we'll call the school management to find out what are their plans. Because I don't think that the death of Dr. Herbert should be the end of Wigwe University. We should do everything within our power as a state, or anybody who loves Herbert, to keep that legacy of Herbert Wigwe University. That is what I feel we should do to immortalize his name.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is scheduled to depart Abuja for Addis Ababa, Ethiopia tomorrow, Thursday, February the 15th, to participate in the 37th Ordinary Session of the Assembly of Heads of State and Government of the African Union. According to a statement by the Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Ajuri Ngelale, President Tinubu will join other African leaders in high-level meetings on institutional reforms of the AU. Issues like peace and security, climate change, as well as modalities of participation and priorities of the continental body in the G20 will all be discussed. On the margins of the summit, President Tinubu is also scheduled to attend an extraordinary summit of the Authority of Heads of State and Government of ECOWAS in his capacity as the chairman of the regional body. The president will be accompanied on this trip by some ministers and top government officials, and he is expected to return to Abuja at the end of the summit. While the federal government has asked the international police, Interpol, to place 3 Nigerians on its watch list over forgery allegations. And this is coming after the suspects, a staff of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Odo Ocheme, and 2 other persons were declared wanted for allegedly forging the signature of former President Muhammadu Buhari to steal $6.2 million in cash from the Apex Bank. Ocheme was accused of plotting and forging the documents alongside Abubakar Adamu and Imam Abubakar. This was stated in a letter which was signed by Loho Okpoziabo, who is the Deputy Commissioner of Police and the head of Operation Office of the Special Investigator. As always, we have more for you on the news at 10. We'll head to our Abuja studios now, where Malkwe Ogun Yusuf is standing by. Hello, Malkwe.
Hello, Anne. I certainly cannot miss Valentine's Day with your jacket. Certainly looking very Valentine-y. Well, the battle against criminality in the Federal Capital Territory is on the front burner, and FCT Minister Nyesom Wigwe has placed a 20 million naira bounty on criminals in the FCT. The minister made this declaration during the parade of suspects for various crimes by the FCT Police Command, maintaining that the safety of FCT residents is a priority for his administration. Our correspondent Kumbi Abuluwade reports.
The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Mr. Nyesom Wigwe, arrives the FCT Police Command for the parade of suspects of armed robbery, kidnappings, one chance, and other heinous crimes. He's received by the FCT Police Commissioner, Mr. Bernard Igwe, and other top officers of the command. According to the FCT Police, a total of 23 suspects have been arrested for the crimes. Exhibits recovered from them include 9 million naira, AK-47 rifles, bulletproof vest, and walkie-talkies.
This group are responsible for the kidnap at the Federal Mortgage Housing Estate in Kabusa. They have confessed to that, Your Excellency. They are responsible for the kidnap in Keti Village, Fulani residents, where the Alhaji Sani, many people know the area is a popular place. They are responsible. They are responsible for the kidnap of a gate man and her madam in Kabusa Estate. The suspects who were responsible for activities of the past one chance robbery are all here. The few ones that are remaining, we have given them a few days to pick all of them up, sir.
The commissioner adds that at least 2 suspects escaped, and the minister placed a bounty of 20 million naira on them.
You were thinking that those who are terrorizing are such a huge people. Just look at it. Well, I trust the police. Yes, sir. Make sure you train them in the best capacity. Yes, sir. Now, let me just you said it's remaining about 2 or 3 persons. Yes, sir. Okay. Let me put money on their heads. And so wherever they are, send their men out there. Yes, sir. I will give them 20 million naira. Go and fish them out.
At least 10 suspects have been paraded here today by the FCT Police Command for various crimes such as wanchons and kidnappings. But above all, the FCT Command said they would intensify their efforts to get into border communities where they believe criminals are hiding. From the FCT, Kumbi Aboluade, Channels Television News.
His Eminence John Cardinal Onayekon is asking Christians all over the country to use the Lenten season to pray and seek God's face over the challenges confronting the nation. The Cardinal was speaking during the Ash Wednesday service at the Church of Assumption in Asokoro. He also urged Christians to give sacrificially, especially to those who cannot afford a meal owing to the economic situation in the country. And in Lagos, Christian faithful joined their counterparts all over the world in marking Ash Wednesday, the solemn day of fasting and reflection that signals the start of Christianity's most pertinent season. At Our Lady of Perpetual Help Catholic Church, Isheri Parish, members received the sprinkling of ashes as a sign of mourning and repentance. The parish priest, Reverend Father Ebenezer Akinduro, says Ash Wednesday is named after the practice of placing ashes on the foreheads of faithful as a reminder of human mortality and as a sign of mourning and repentance to God. Into education matters, the Redeemer's College of Technology and Management has been granted approval to offer higher national diploma HND courses. The rector of the institution, Dr. Stella Mofuanya, stated this at the third and fourth combined convocation of the school for 396 graduates who were presented with awards of national diplomas. The visitor to the institution, Pastor Mrs. Folu Adeboye, who prayed for the graduating students, challenged Nigerian youths to stay focused and hardworking to earn the best in life. Our correspondent Chris Elems reports.
It's the third and fourth combined convocation ceremony of the Redeemer's College of Technology and Management. Today, 396 graduates will be receiving national certificates after having completed their courses at the institution. The convocation lecturer speaks on Nigeria, challenges and opportunities for enhancing capacity, fostering innovation, and promoting entrepreneurship.
In today's rapidly changing world, capacity building, innovation, and entrepreneurial development are interrelated, and they are very crucial for the nation's economic growth.
Redeemer's College of Technology and Management, a faith-based polytechnic, offers courses in various fields of sciences, technology, and management with a mandate to raise champions.
Today, a total number of 396 students are receiving national certificates, bringing it to 584 graduates produced by the college so far. The best overall.
The ceremony continues with the overall Best Graduating Student 2021-22, as well as the 2022-23 sets, each getting special recognition for their performances. The graduating sets have been christened Divinely Repositioned. A prayer is said for them by the visitor, Pastor Mrs. Folu Adeboye.
You will become the best of the best. What the college is expecting from you and the nation is expecting from you, you will excel in them all.
The valedictorian also gets a chance to reach out to our fellow graduates.
Let us not be afraid to pursue our passions, chase our dreams, and make a positive impact on the world around us.
Despite the challenging times facing Nigerian youth, Pastor Mrs. Folu Adeboye leaves a word of encouragement.
No success without work. There must be a record of their doing. No matter how hard it is, God is still on his throne.
Established 5 years ago, Redeemer's College of Technology and Management appears to be proving that with the right support and funding, the country's education system can compete favorably with those from other climes. Chris Elems, Channels Television News.
Still ahead on the news at 10, the Minister of Power proposes the unbundling of distribution companies in a bid to cut electricity subsidy in the country. That's on Business News. Do join us again.
It's time for First Bank's Win Big promo. 170 million naira up for grabs. Open or reactivate your First Bank account. Deposit and maintain a minimum of 5,000 naira for just 30 days. And the soft life begins. Transact up to 5 times on our digital channels. And guess what? You could be a lucky 100,000 naira winner each month. But wait, there's more. Deposit and maintain 50,000 naira each month for 4 months, or deposit 200,000 naira for 4 months, and you could stand a chance to win a whooping 1 million naira in the grand finale.
Don't miss your chance to win big with First Bank. This promo runs till February 23rd, 2024, and is open to new and existing account holders. Terms and conditions apply. Keep transacting, keep winning. You first, First Bank.
The Duchess International Hospital opened its doors in October 2021. The mission of the hospital is to reverse medical tourism. We take particular care here at the Duchess to bring together a combination of the brightest and the best locally, as well as Nigerians in the diaspora who are interested in returning to do very good work for the benefit of our patients here in this country.
The good thing is that we have all international expertise here, all international facilities here, international people working here. Everything is coming together in a space which was considered not great in terms of the availability of healthcare.
Access Bank, of course, has been able to provide us with a robust range of products and services that has enabled us to deliver that standard and quality of healthcare that is integral to our mission as an organization.
Guys, I've got amazing news for you.
No. Keep the news to yourself.
Which one is mine? All 8 of them. How many of them are girls?
Get 8 times the value of every recharge, 1,000 naira sign-up bonus, and double data with Airtel over Jara. Airtel, a reason to imagine.
Now, all of us like to chop better food. Food where they make body tranga and vegetables where fresh like see tomorrow not day. We want make the chocolate sweet the way we go like them. No cubes. Now be the secret. Then make them with correct ingredients like chicken, parsley, garlic, plenty iron corn full and palm to make your chocolate palm bar for you. Come the sweet well. Now be the cocoa. Make we carry salute, throw away give no.
Change your world by changing waiting to your plate. Welcome to the future of gold mining with Japol Gold and Ventures PLC, where vision meets innovation. We have a bold vision to become a major player in gold, copper, and lithium mining production and refining globally, with a commitment to investing over $600 million within the next 5 years. With continuous exploration at our strategic mines in Nigeria and other countries in the world, targeting production and measured reserve of at least 30 million ounces of gold by 2028, with a world-class gold refinery. Having already secured about 650,000 ounces of gold, presently worth about $1.3 billion in one of our gold mines. We shall scale up to 100 million ounces of gold in reserve and production on or before the year 2033. Japal Gold, a new dawn shaping the future of minerals mining in Nigeria and other parts of the world. Japal, partnering for results.
Coming from every corner of the globe, professionals of the mining and oil and gas sector will be taking part in the 4th edition of ECOMOF, which is a forum on mining, oil and gas by ECOWAS. From February 22nd to 24th, 2024, Cotonou will vibrantly host the ECOMOF at Palais des Congrès, Cotonou, Benin Republic. Over 3 days, investors, decision makers, industry professionals, suppliers, and experts from Africa and the world are gathering in Cotonou, Benin. Sign-ups and bookings for ECOMOF 2024 on www.ecomof.org.
Welcome back. Over 5,000 youths and women around Agogo local government area of Kebbi State are currently benefiting from the 4-year partnership between the Wakat Rice Limited and the USAID-funded West Africa Trade and Investment Hub. The partnership, which commenced 4 years ago with a $10 million initiative between both parties, is winding down, but the officials are now testifying on the impact of food production, job creation, and financial inclusion. The chairman of Wakat Rice Limited, Mr. Farouk Gumel, says that the company will continue to provide services that will impact communities and meet the food security needs of Nigeria.
It's the closeout event of a partnership with the USAID-funded West Africa Trade and Investment Hub and Wakat Rice Limited, marking the successful completion of the Argongo Outgrower Expansion Program. And these experts are converging to hear the success story of the initiative. Both partners, Wakat Rice Limited and USAID, are excited about the impact of the program.
$10 million only. 5,000 people, imagine, over 4 years. That's a lot. Now, rural inclusion, just by this maths, is a cheap initiative. It's cheap if there's commitment.
USAID has unlocked over $150 million in private sector funding in Nigeria. The Trade Hub has also helped to create around 25,000 jobs and trained over 250,000 smallholder farmers.
Wakat Rice Limited is a subsidiary of the Tropical General Investment Group, one of the largest integrated rice mills in sub-Saharan Africa, with a core focus on backward integration, sustainability, and innovation. The company is known for Nigerian premium Big Bull rice brand, sourced from smallholder farmers.
We have triggered over $19 million in paddy sales. We set out to do only $5 billion naira. Today we've done $19 million, and that's money that has trickled into the rural economy. We have recorded significant yield increases, averaged at 4.5 metric tons per hectare. We have exceptional farmers harvesting as high as 8 metric tons, 9 metric tons per hectare.
The federal government is commending the company for its contribution to national food security, pledging to support such efforts.
All this goes to the issue of sustainability, and I want to assure that the federal government appreciates the need to replicate this program. That is why this year, for the first time, the agricultural budget of the program is close to 1 trillion naira.
The rice value chain plays a critical role in the nation's food supply, irrespective of the challenges it is currently facing.
Dorman Long Nigeria Engineering Limited is 75 years old, and the company is rolling out the drums to celebrate this milestone. Eminent personalities joined the management and staff of the organization to celebrate the contributions to the Nigeria's industrial and infrastructural sector in areas of steel, fabrication, erection services.
The 75th anniversary festivities by Dorman Long Nigeria Limited is a celebration of the company's success and contributions to Nigeria's industrial and infrastructure development in steel fabrication and erection services. With an extensive range of engineering services, especially in oil and gas, the company says it's been able to make significant progress in the last 75 years.
Dorman Long was the first Nigerian company that participated in building pressure vessels for Nigerian NLNG.
Minister of State for Steel Development, Uba Amadu, explains Dorman Long Nigeria Limited's determination to excellence aligns with the federal government's efforts on job creation.
This dedication to excellence resonates deeply with the renewed hope agenda championed by our President, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR. It speaks of innovation, collaboration, and building a diversified, job-rich economy. All values Dorman Long embodies so powerfully.
Dorman Long Nigeria Limited's expertise in oil and gas, telecommunications, manufacturing and power industries in Nigeria and sub-Saharan Africa is visible even in difficult circumstances.
COVID was a case in point. We were locked down in Nigeria, and yet during that time, Dorman Long was able to keep an FPSO working day in, day out, ensuring energy security and ensuring that the meager funds that Nigeria gets for its foreign exchange sale of crude was able to go on unbroken.
Time to unveil the company's new logo, after which High Life singer Flavor lights up the atmosphere with his musical prowess. The 75th anniversary of Dorman Long Nigeria Limited brings together key stakeholders across the value chain, looking forward to a more successful business outlook when it turns 100 years old.
To tell us more about the cuts in subsidy on electricity, Will Ebong is here.
Banking so easy, so simple. Dial *894# now to experience it. You first, First Bank.
Thank you, Anne, and welcome to Business News. Now, in a bid to cut subsidy on electricity in the country, the Minister of Power, Mr. Debayo Adelabu, wants the discos unbundled on a state-by-state basis to optimize efficiency and increase accountability and transparency to the consumers, as well as help states to generate power independently. Mr. Adelabu, who made this known during a press conference, stresses that while only 450 billion naira was budgeted for electricity subsidy this year, the ministry, however, needs over 2 trillion naira.
We are also resuscitating the abandoned 26 small and medium-sized hydro plants across the country with solar hybridization. This will adopt embedded power model with connectivity to the regional discos network. This is so easy. It doesn't have to go through the national grid. We have small dams with 10 megawatts, 6 megawatts, 1 megawatt across. We have one in Oyo State, Ikere Gorge Dam. We have one in Ogun State, Oyo, and we have across Nigeria. If we rehabilitate this, we are going to be supplying national power to the states. And they don't need to go to the national grid on the 330 or 132 kV lines. They will be on the 33 kV line within the distribution network of the states. And this will be backup power. Then we are completing the 20 megawatt wind solar hybrid power plant in Katsina State. We have completed the 10 megawatts wind. We are now hybridizing it with a solar of another 10 megawatts. Once we complete that, that's another 20 megawatts coming from Katsina State. And we are completing the infrastructure required for complete evacuation of there is a 30 megawatt Gurara Dam power plant.
Now, in a significant development from the Debt Management Office, the DMO, the agency, announced plans to offer 2 new bonds valued at 2.5 trillion naira in its upcoming auction on Monday, February the 19th. This marks the highest amount ever offered by the DMO in its history. The bonds comprise of 7- and 10-year options, each valued at 1.25 trillion naira, due to mature in February 2031 and February 2034, respectively. Now, this announcement comes on the heels of the DMO's previous auction in January, where bonds worth 90 billion naira were successfully sold. However, the introduction of these new bond offerings totaling 2.5 trillion naira underscores the government's pressing need to raise substantial funds. Now, the domestic equities market made a huge rebound today with a 1.76% rally in the all-share index, more than making up for Tuesday's losses. Ini John Mekwa tells us more.
What a profitable Wednesday at the NGX at the close of trade. And we have the suits to thank for it, at least 2 of the 11 suits. Airtel opened at 2,000 naira at the close of trade. It was 2,200. That's 10% on its share price. That's some money for you. Seplat is the other one. It opened at 3,074 naira 60 kobo, but closed at 3,370 naira. And so you see that it's up almost 10% to 9.61%. Well, the other suits didn't do so well except for Zenith, but these guys moved the market today. And so let's see what that looks like with the all-share index. A beautiful green is what we see, 1.76%. And yes, we've gone up 103,498.28. And for the market cap, good news, we've crossed over to 56 trillion, 56.632 trillion now. Now let's see how the counters capture this. Banking is up, looking good at 2.01%. Fugaz, of course, did that. They were down yesterday. Consumer goods looking even much better. Right there, 3.99%. Investors are coming back to the market. Oil and gas, see where they are. 5.34% at the close of trade. And this, obviously, is that Seplat move that we saw right there. So it's a beautiful market, and the bull is back.
Thank you, Ini. We do hope for another beautiful green tomorrow. But as always, let's check in on other major equities. And that's a wrap on Business News. It's back to you, Anne.
Banking so easy, so simple. Dial *894# now to experience it. You first, First Bank.
Thank you, Will. Ukraine's military intelligence has confirmed it sank another Russian warship in a sea drone attack off the coast of Crimea. Here is Simon Puse with more international news and around the world in 5.
Good evening and welcome to the channel's studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. A big Russian amphibious ship, the Caesar Kunikov, has sunk off the coast of Russian-occupied Crimea. That's according to Ukraine's armed forces. The video released by the Ukraine's military intelligence agency appears to be filmed by cameras on board the drones. It said they were Magura 5V naval drones striking the landing ship. Powerful explosions were heard according to local social media, which suggested the landing ship had been hit not far south of the town of Yalta. Ukraine has repeatedly hit Russia's Black Sea fleet in occupied Crimea. Satellite images last year showed how much of the fleet had left the peninsula. The House of Representatives has narrowly voted to impeach Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas, making him the first cabinet member to face impeachment in nearly 150 years.
The yeas are 214 and the nays are 213. The resolution is adopted.
Many Republicans blame Mr. Mayorkas for an unprecedented influx of migrants at the US-Mexico border. The Republican-led chamber voted 214 to 213 for the measure after the first attempt failed last week. The issue now heads to the Democratic-led Senate, where it is likely to fail. President Joe Biden has blasted criticism of NATO by his likely 2024 election challenger Donald Trump as dumb, shameful and un-American.
And that's because the former president has sent a dangerous and shockingly, frankly, un-American signal to the world.
The Democrat assailed Mr. Trump for saying he would encourage Russia to attack any NATO member that did not meet its defense spending quota. Mr. Biden said that the remarks underscored the urgency of passing a $95 billion foreign aid package for U.S. allies. The bill just passed the Senate, but it faces political headwinds in the House. Nawaz Sharif and Bilawal Bhutto Zardari's parties in Pakistan have reached a deal to form a government after last week's disputed election. Mr. Bhutto's Pakistan People's Party said it would help Mr. Sharif's Pakistan Muslim League elect a prime minister. The two parties were previously in a coalition that ousted Imran Khan from power in 2022. He is now in jail. This time, independent candidates backed by his PTI party unexpectedly won the most seats. PPP leader Asif Ali Zardari told a press conference that although his party and the PMLN had contested elections against each other, they had come together in the interests of the nation. Millions of people across Indonesia's 17,000 islands and 3 time zones have now voted for their future president. Unofficial results predict a win for Defence Minister Prabowo Subianto, a former Special Forces commander dogged by allegations of human rights abuses and disappearances. It has prompted fears that Indonesia is in danger of sliding back towards its authoritarian past. Ganjar Pranowo, whose party supported outgoing President Widodo's 2 previous campaigns, and Anies Baswedan are also in the running. Kenyan police have rearrested a fugitive murder suspect who had escaped from police custody. That's according to local media. Kelvin Kangangthe is wanted by US authorities in connection with the killing of his girlfriend in Boston last October. He has not commented on the allegations. He had been detained in Kenya awaiting a decision on whether to extradite him to the US. Last week, he escaped from a police station in the capital Nairobi where he was being held. The UK's inflation rate has remained unchanged in January, despite the first monthly fall in food prices in more than 2 years. Inflation, which measures how prices rise over time, stood at 4% in the year to January. The new energy price cap meant the typical annual household bill went up to £1,928, a rise of £94. However, the price of other items like furniture and food fell, offsetting the increase in the cost of energy. And multi-billionaire Jeff Bezos has sold more of his shares in Amazon, bringing the total value of sales in recent days to more than $4 billion. The technology giant, which Mr. Bezos founded in 1994, said he has sold 24 million Amazon shares this month. Mr. Bezos, who is the firm's executive chair, last sold Amazon shares in 2021. Earlier this month, the company said he was planning to sell 50 million shares over the next year, which are worth around $8.4 billion at current prices. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the channel's studios in Lagos.
Many thanks indeed, Simon. In the world of sports, amidst cheers to an inspiring performance at the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations football tournament, MTN Nigeria is pledging to support the Super Eagles of Nigeria to encourage the team to step up their game. Speaking in Abuja at a welcome breakfast organized by the telecommunications giant, the chairman of MTN Nigeria, Dr. Ernest Ndukwe, says the company is proud of the Super Eagles and their exports at the just concluded AFCON.
The atmosphere is calm and friendly as officials and players of the Super Eagles are celebrated at the breakfast by MTN Nigeria. The odd-defying run to the finals of the Nations Cup is without a doubt a testament to resilience, hard work, passion and commitment of the Super Eagles, attributes which the management of MTN Nigeria feel are common to both teams.
After I watched the second match, there was one thing that struck me. And I said, no matter where the Super Eagles get to, I'll be proud of them. There was a visible emotional commitment on the field.
Officials of the Super Eagles are delighted with the reception and promise to build on their achievements of the tournament.
I'm grateful with you guys, for my staffs, for my players, for the NFF, for our supporters, MTN today and the others, I don't know. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Without finances, we cannot achieve what we need to achieve for Nigeria. So we need more corporate organizations to come and support us so that we can continue to build on what we have so far achieved.
MTN is pledging to support the Super Eagles for other tournaments.
Sports development is actually more than just what corporate organizations do and just what one corporate organization does. It needs significant support, it needs significant funding, and it also needs a passion to ensure that this is done and done excellently well. Nigeria is incredibly talented.
An MTN family is a sports-loving family, actually. And over the years, we've always wanted to support the Super Eagles in various ways. And when we got a fresh opportunity, we decided to seize the opportunity.
The event climaxes with the presentation of gifts to the players. MTN believes that nothing better expresses support for Nigeria's most loved sports team, the Super Eagles, than connecting her with her over 200 million cheering fans across spaces and distances. And this is why MTN is now the proud sponsor of the Super Eagles of Nigeria.
And beautiful scenes there. In tennis, former world #1 Rafael Nadal says he's unsure if he will be ready to return to AFCON action in Doha next week after he withdrew from the Australian Open with a muscle tie. The Spaniard missed most of last year with a hip injury sustained in Melbourne, but made his comeback at the Brisbane International in the lead-up to this year's Australian Open. 22-time Grand Slam winner is far more optimistic about playing in Indian Wells this year's first Masters 1000 event, which runs from March 6th to 17th in the California desert. And that's sports news tonight. I am Kelly. It's back to Anne.
Thank you, Kelly. And the main news again. Northern traditional rulers today met in Kaduna to discuss the prevailing high cost of living in the country. They called on the federal government to take urgent action to address the situation.